Hello, soul friends. This is Mary, and welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is a topic that I've done before a long time ago. And so even though it probably won't pick up on the algorithm, let's go ahead and do it anyway. So if you're a loyal subscriber to my channel, you are maybe getting a little bit of an extra treat for your awesome loyalty, right? Okay, so this is a funny little topic. It sort of sounds similar to one that we've done recently called What Fear is Holding You Back, but this is different because it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is holding you back. It also doesn't have to be something that's necessarily scary. It's just called What is Haunting You Currently. So that could be anything that's just sticking in your mind from the past, or it could be a literal haunting. We've gotten those before. Or it could be just something that you haven't put to rest yet, etc. and so forth, and all of that. All right, so go ahead and look at each image. Pause if you need to while I say, remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or it's just your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. And no matter how you look at that, it's healthy and you are in the right place. So if you are going to be sticking around, we're using the Urban Crow Oracle as our introduction cards here, and also we'll be drawing some more of them in each reading. Here is, I know one of these boxes is gonna fall. I can't believe it didn't fall yet. It's gonna fall. Urban Crow Oracle. I think this also has the expansion pack mixed in. And then for our tarot, we're going to be using this. The reason I never show a box for this is all the information is here on this card that came along with it. And it comes in a beautiful silky white, looks just like this, bag as opposed to a box. And it's white, and things that are white, that are fabric, they don't stay safe in my area. Oh man. So that's why you won't see that out here, but that's what it comes with, and it's on Etsy. I did put the link in the description box for that deck because it is a smaller business that is selling that. Okay. Go ahead and feast your eyes in on what we have. For each of your piles, we have a spooky spider. A snake. And the Grim Reaper himself. Alright, what is currently haunting you? We'll see you in your individual readings. Bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked the scary spider. I love how when you sit it down, it like rears up its little spider legs. Let's see if I can get it to show you. So here it is. See how it's oh wow, if it'll let me, the way the camera's angled. There's nothing underneath its legs. It's like totally reared up, like it's gonna attack you. It's quite scary. There he goes. See him? Almost. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the anomaly card. You know, what's interesting about this card, and what I feel like in this group exactly, is that you have felt separate from your fellows for like most of your life. And even though people say it's special, it's a gift, it's wonderful, you should be grateful, it makes you help people more, you're kind of like, okay, you know, it kind of sucks, right? It feels kind of cursy. People don't treat me right. I attract people that have feelings about me that don't align with my, what do you call it, my higher self, or, you know, and that's just a fancy schmancy way of saying that, like, I'm not good at picking my friends, right? Or I have bad luck when it comes to people. I've heard people say that before. Okay. So it feels like that. It also might feel like no matter what you get into or surround yourself with, you always feel like there's something that kind of makes you different from everyone else in a way that doesn't feel good to you. Or at least makes you feel like you're kind of different from everyone else. Hang on. Hopefully that's a little bit brighter. It's very dark on this screen out here in my living room, and it's because the weather is quite rainy, and I need to just start moving these into the sunroom. That's what I need to be doing, but not today. Okay. So thank you for sticking around, even if you're like, oh, the screen is so dark, it makes me sick. Or if you love the darkness, let me know in the comments section. Anyway, you might feel a little separate from your fellows. I want to read... Oh, there should be a book in here. Maybe there's not. I probably took it out. All right, we're not going to read. Sorry, y'all. It would take me way too long to try to figure out what happened there. So you might just be and I feel like if you feel like you might be an anomaly, you are in some way. It could be that you're different in your health. Your health could be something that sets you apart. It could be your look sets you apart. It could be a combo of all those things. But somehow you feel apart from your fellows, and it's actually kind of how you are. All right, you're different in some way. That also makes you special. Aw. But it haunts you. It feels kind of cursy and not like, and I totally get it. I can relate to that. Let's get a couple more crow cards for your overall energy. We're just going to get like 2. Look at that. It's always so agreeable. They're your guides. We should give them the credit. Observation. Get to that in just a moment. And self-interest. Okay. What I'm hearing from your guides is that it's actually permission time to tell you that you have the right to be selfish. It's not actually being selfish in your situation. It's actually you just doing what you need to do for you. Okay? So, they're also saying with the observation card that there are blessings attached to this anomaly of being you. But you have to kind of look at it from a different perspective, and you have to look at it from your perspective that's different from everyone else. And that could very well just be what's different about you. You see things differently from others in some way. You know, you might look the same, but you might be set apart because of your beliefs or because of the way you see the world could be different. And we did mention like health being different. And they're saying to go ahead and be selfish. You have advantages over others, you know, even though I'm not discounting how hard it is to be you, okay, but it does give you slight advantages over others. All right. For example, I have bad health, I guess, and it's an anomaly, a health thing. I don't know anybody else that has exactly the same thing that I have, etc. and so forth, and it's isolating, right? But at the same time, necessity afforded me the opportunity to work from home, which is something I've always wanted to try. I actually like it, working from home. I'm not gonna lie, it can be isolating, but that just is up to me to reach out more, okay, and to go out to places that I can go, which I have been. And so there you have it. So that's an example to try to help push you along. All right, let's get some tarot. haunting my group 1? And how can they put that haunting to rest? Right, group 1, because we're not going to leave you hanging, that's for sure. Oh, you're going to be mad at me. Well, not too much. The 5 of Swords. I'm still going to take the original meaning, even though the image is quite different from the traditional tarot, and a lot of these cards are in this deck. I love this deck. It's so cute. But I just, when I saw it, I was like, oh man, I need to have that. I must own it. So if I haven't done a review on it, I really should. I should do a little Halloween review of all my little Halloween decks. Let me know if you'd like to see that in the comments section. Anyway, 5 of Swords is also about, it can be like seen as a negative card, but it's also about taking care of yourself and being your own champion, your own hero, not being dragged down by others, because you are different. You might as well accept the fact that you are, all right? A lot of the message here, and what I felt really strongly when I was laying the cards out, was this idea of, or this phrase of, embracing who you are, okay? I feel like, yeah, it does kind of set you apart from your fellows in ways. Even if you're surrounded by people all the time, you still feel kind of different. So if you're like, no, I feel really connected to my fellows, probably not the group for you, okay? I feel like this is showing that the truth of the matter is that even though you are kind of set apart, and the Queen of Swords is very much not afraid to stand alone either, okay? That it feels like a curse because you feel isolated at times, but the universe is actually telling you that this is a gift, this ability that you have. And even though it does kind of set you apart, it also opens you up to some new opportunities and growth that normal people don't have, okay? Or more social people, or people that get to be more social. Because here's the deal. If you're not super social, it's not necessarily in your hands, just like it's not in my hands. Okay, that I can't have like a bustling social life because of my health issues, right? So your guides want you to look at it that way, of like, look at the advantages that you gain as opposed to the losses that you've suffered, and stop worrying about what your fellows are doing, because I feel like deep down, because you feel different from them in a lot of cases, maybe not all of you, but some of you at least, if not all, you are somewhat drained and annoyed by them in a sense. Okay? Okay, let's see what else your guides have to tell you about putting this haunting to rest. The 6 of Wands, interesting. The Page of Wands, also very interesting. Okay, one more. Oh, there it is. And Strength. How cool is this? Okay. Your guides are showing that once you embrace your true self for how you are, the anomaly that you are. And I think at this point, you know what sets you apart from others. You just don't know what to do about it, and you don't know what to do with yourself because of it, okay? Your guides are showing that the more you embrace yourself, the more you're going to find your people. And remember back to what that one guide was saying at the very beginning, embrace who you are, right? Accept who you are as you are. That's not how they said it, but I couldn't translate it different than that. Somebody might have ancestors that speak a different language, or you might have come from a different place, or some of you might be bilingual. Anyway. Ooh. If you embrace your true self, that's where you're going to find your people. 6 of Wands is about being an inspiration to others, and people actually like having a following, right? The Page of Wands is about embarking on new inspirations or new passions and feeling like kind of like you're out of your comfort zone, but it's a good thing. Yes. And then the Strength card is all about finding your strength within yourself and finding a following of people. You're not going to be alone. Okay, that's one of the main messages that your guides want you to have here, because you are I'm feeling like you're worried that you don't have like a group of people, right? Sorry, I wanted to zoom out a little bit. Okay, I want to get like 2 more cards. Oh, did you feel that? Oh, wow, like this is like, my finger is like vibrating on my right hand. 5 of Pentacles. No, 3 of Pentacles. And 7 of Swords. How to put this haunting to rest. 3 of Pentacles is definitely about not being alone. And it's also about not being alone in your works. Okay, so your job that you have, you might feel kind of isolated from like your other workers somehow. This is either encouraging you to reach out to those who are around you. Okay. Trying to think of like different examples. Like, for example, if you work from home, you might not be around people very much at work, right? But if you work on, say, like certain, like I work on Everclear, right? I can get on the forum and talk to coworkers, people that do the exact same thing I do every day, and find somebody that'll message me back or just post something in general to the forum, and anybody who wants to comment can. And you just get good advice from people, and it's just a really nice way to do things, right? That's always been nice. So like being creative about reaching out, you're not actually as alone as you feel like you are. And the more you are yourself, the more you'll draw in your actual people. I know that sounds like stuff that they've told us in like elementary school, right? Just be yourself, be yourself. What movie is that from? No? Give me comments. You just start watching more movies. Your guides are also saying that you're this feeling of needing to belong to others is something you've been holding on to too tightly. Okay, I want one more card because this one right here is calling to me. 10 of Coins. Yes, if you embrace your true self, you can end up with a whole family of sorts, whatever works for you, and money with the coins. There's this sense of getting recognition here from others with the 6 of Wands and the 10 of Coins. So that's also something some of you need to take heed of, my group ones. And with that, I will leave you. Thank you for tuning in. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. We will see you in the next ones. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I think that's a little bit better on the lighting. Maybe not, but I'm doing my best. Ask me if you'd like me to move to my sunroom for these readings. Be like, the lighting is too dark. Or if you'd like to keep it the same. So you picked the scary snake. Actually, I'm not really scared of snakes. I like to say scary snake. You got the Wrath card. So right off the bat with this card, if you're not dealing with some kind of conflict situation, some kind of conflicting situation, and this might not be the group for you. Let's stick around and see what else your guides have to say to see if this is the right group for you. As far as what I'm feeling from this card, besides conflict, and conflict can come in many forms. What is haunting you? Okay. I feel like for some of you, it's something from your past that has caused almost like a and this is not a diagnosis, this is just like a description, like a post-traumatic stress kind of feeling of like you can't get it out of your head, you relive it over and over and over again, right? It could be a small thing, but whatever it is, the repetition of it in your mind is what's causing you to feel haunted or a feeling of unrest. And there's an anger that goes along with it, some kind of and not just anger or wrath, right? Wrath is like, you're not just angry, you're like in Punisher mode. Like, I'm gonna show you how angry I am. Fun little movie to watch since we're doing Crow cards. The original Crow, not the new one. I can't diss the new one yet because I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to say right now, call it the first original one should not have even been made. It's just better in and of itself because it was original. That's all I'm going to say. But watch the old one. It's very, very good. Okay, everyone should see that at least once in their lives, in my opinion. Anyway, that character had wrath over his untimely death, right? This wrath is justified in a lot of cases. Okay, maybe all cases in this group, but wrath still kind of eats you up, even if it's a justified anger. All right, so let's go ahead and get you some tarot. Oof, and I need a drink. Well, hang on. I'm feeling these pretty hard. We're gonna go. This is the not last one, but this is the last one in this row. Okay, now I'm going to pause it and get a drink. Just a second. Hello. Okay, so these are going to be next. Let's look at these first. Page of Coins. Knight of Cups. Six of Wands. And 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. Group 1 got a lot of these cards, these three specifically, but they got them in a different order. And this is a different story, so don't worry about that. But it is interesting you guys got the same cards out of that whole deck of cards. Okay, so starting with the Page of Pentacles, your guys are trying to show you that you have a message from them about this situation of wrath. If you are not somebody who had something in your past that's causing wrath, it's something in your present that's causing wrath, or possibly fear of the future in some way that's causing you to feel wrath. Okay, it could be fear over times changing. It could be wrath over something that has changed and you're having to live through it. Okay, and it's making you angry. I've had moments like that where, say, this is actually not a personal story, but a friend of mine was like studying to be a nurse and went through all the schooling that it takes to be a nurse. And apparently there's a bunch of schooling to that. I figured it'd be more just like raw training and then you just start practicing for real and then you just go for it. But apparently they make you go to school a lot, and she had to do that. And then just when she got her certification or her licensure or whatever you call it, that was when they said, oh, guess what? It's now a state requirement that all the nurses have to have a BA, which is like a whole degree in like a whole separate thing. Can you imagine? I would actually feel wrath over that. I would be like, it's not fair, like it would kill me. It wouldn't kill me, but it would make me really bitter and upset. Okay, so that is what came to mind as kind of an example of feeling a wrath of that nature. If it's not like some kind of a actual real trauma, it could just still be wrath over something that you're dealing with in your present, something that's a prolonged situation that makes you feel like angry over time to the point where it builds to wrath. It could be anything like that. All right. So your guys are showing with the Page of Coins that they have a message for you. All right. They're showing that you have an opportunity being offered to you at this time that could bring you recognition and money. Nice, huh? And it has something to do with what's haunting you. So it has something to do with that situation that makes you feel that wrath. So I'm going to state the obvious one. If you've been like actually traumatized to the point where like, any medical doctor, if you told them about what had happened to you, would say, okay, you need to speak with somebody who's skilled in, psychiatric like treatment, right, of some kind, or psychological treatment of some kind, counseling or what have you, to help you resolve that conflict in your mental and subconscious like life, right? So that being said, that obvious one could be that the message to you is that you could take what helped you recover from that and turn it into your career, turn it into some way that you give back and help others, etc. and so forth. One of the things that I threw into my, spice of life when I became a teacher was throwing in mindfulness exercises for my students. And it was under the guise of, this is how we calm down and get ready for class, mentally prepare for my class, which is my right to do as the educator, right? But what I was actually doing was teaching them how to calm down their systems as they move through each stage of their day, which you could also use to help you through each stage of your life, right? It's called mindful practice. I didn't come up with it, right? It's just a thing. All right, let's keep going. Death or change. High Priest or the Hierophant. The Seven of Swords. Interesting. Group 1 got Seven of Swords as well. So those of you who just feel like an aching in your bones. Oh, I love card puns. About the present, I feel like, or the future, I feel like your guides are showing you that you actually could have a platform speaking voice of not spreading your wrath to others, but like spreading awareness to others of the things that are upsetting enough to cause wrath to you. And I think we talked about maybe health being a thing. For some of you having wrath over like a health issue. If we didn't, let's go ahead and throw that in there. If those poor health people are still here. This is showing like raising an opportunity to raise awareness or gain a following by helping others, by gathering them towards you in a way that's like-minded, right? An example of that could be like a drug addict that becomes a counselor once they've reached recovery, right? And recovery is always a day-to-day process. And so it is scary. It is out of the it is out of the known to them, and they could fail. It's very scary to them. They spent a lot of time breaking themselves down and being like, I have failed. Look at what I did. I got addicted to something, right? But then they pull themselves up and are able to help others. And because they have been through that, they can relate to them better. And so I feel that kind of energy in this as well. And it bringing like huge change into your life, like it could be huge recognition, which could be a huge change to you. You could end up having a spot of authority, or a spot of authority in like teaching spiritual matters, a spot of authority in teaching in general, or just people coming to you in general and you feeling the pressure of having people just do what you suggest, more than they would listen to their own selves. Does that make sense? I feel like you take that seriously. Your guides are saying not to hang on to that too tightly, because people, one of the things you can do if you feel that pressure of them just doing more of what you say than their own thoughts, their own instincts, you can always tell them that, and humble yourself in front of them by saying, hey, I'm just a person just like you. I feel like everything does happen for like a really fabulous bigger reason, but, or spiritual reason, but it's up to you to find that connection to, your source or your God or your creator or the divine or whatever, to show them that you're just the, the messenger or the teacher that helps get them there, right? But it's up to them to ascend forward, right? And you can prove to them that you don't hang on too tightly to your power, right, that you might have over them, because they might feel like you have power because you're just further up the spiritual scale than they are, or the corporate scale, or however you want to look at it. Page of Swords, lots of beginner energy. Like this is the last card for the spread, and this is the second one, Queen of Swords. Yeah, Page of Swords is about being curious. I feel like even if you end up in a teacher position, part of what's going to make you that huge following and make you tons of money if you follow it properly, right, is this idea that the curiosity of that beginner energy of, I don't know what I'm doing, but nobody else knows what they're doing either, and you end up just in this position to lead, right? For those of you that are trying to just handle the present, right? You might not be helping people who are drug addicts or who are haunted by their past, but you are a support to them as they go through this present that is hard for them too, right? By doing the same kinds of things that you heard us talking about for the group that could be talking, bigger life change scenarios and situations, or dealing with past scenarios. And those of you who are concerned about the future, same diff, raising awareness, trying to get the future blows that you see coming a little bit, cushioned by people who are helping each other, and at the very least pulling in outside support. Let's take that last card. Oh, and that's how you'll grab your truth. Staying curious and see the crown? Being a leader for truth, right? People trusting you because of your integrity and your dignity and your honesty. And that's why maybe you picked the snake, because the snake in positive terms, when it's not scary, is about transformation and becoming like what you were meant to be. Ooh, I love it. Okay, if this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you would like to book a private reading, there are ways for you to do so in the description box. We'll see you in the next one, my friends. Take care. Bye. Hi, group 3. So if you picked the Grim Reaper himself, you could have been taking it as the literal, like death is haunting you. You could be haunted by the idea of death in some way. Maybe you're worried about it coming to others. Maybe you're worried about it coming to you. Maybe it's just something you worry about in general. Maybe it's something that you focus in on when there's other people going through it around you, okay? Now here's the thing. When the death card comes up in a reading, it just means change most of the time, right? Very rarely does it actually mean actual death. So I do want to throw that out there. If you're worried about somebody dying right this second, that's not something I want you to worry about this time. I don't do readings of that nature anyway. So if there was somebody that's going to die soon in our midst, myself included, I've made the deal with my guides long ago. I do not want to know these things unless I can change it. And I usually don't get any feelings before somebody passes away in a sense that makes me feel like I could have changed anything. All right. I do get a little nudge that something's coming. I wished I didn't even feel that. But here we are. All right. So that being said, my loves, I don't usually call you guys that. I felt very felt very ick. Let me know in the comments if it made you feel ick too. So you picked the alley card. Maybe you're like a little alley cat. I hope you don't hear that crazy noise in the background. We have people working on a roof across the street. Not even across the street. It's actually kind of down to the corner and across the street from the corner. But they're pounding on this roof, and so like I keep hearing it. My cats keep freaking out. It's not bothering me, but hopefully it's not bothering you. I feel like some of you are kind of freaked out by present situation or haunted by how violent and uncertain times have become recently. Some of you might be watching a lot of the news lately, and that could be bothering you, okay? But that's not all of you. Others, I feel like it's not like you operate under stranger danger all the time, but maybe you live in a more populated area where you have to be kind of careful in the areas that you travel, areas that you work, areas where you withdraw money, etc., and so forth. It could be that you have a group or connected family even to people who are kind of on the opposite side of the law a little bit, okay? And you feel like maybe that drags you down in some way, okay? Maybe you used to be affiliated with it and now you're not, but I feel like that's dragging some people or haunting people. Like you can't get rid of it. It might haunt you, like say when you try to get a job or when people want to find out more about you in the past. It kind of makes you go, oh, here we go. I got to bring this up, okay? I'm feeling that for you, my group threes. What else am I feeling for group threes? Because I feel like there's a lot. You guys might have a much longer reading than the other two piles. Because they only had a couple of scenarios in their piles that I latched onto. You guys seem to have a lot. Oh, it could just be stranger danger in the world. And I don't mean to say stranger danger in a dismissive way. I mean like you're just a heightened sensitivity to people who are around you that you do not know, and therefore you do not trust them yet. You could be in survival mode more often than others or all the time. This could be something that you're aware of, that you're working on, or you may not be aware of it, okay? One thing that can cause this is having a traumatic past of some type, right? It can be one event or many. It can be events that are related or not. Wow, that's the best way I've ever described that. Yay for me. Hey, I'm not doing too bad. I'm in under 5 minutes still, and I think I got through all of our scenarios, but let me zoom in just a little bit more. I feel like some of you, and this kind of goes along with feeling just kind of like being aware of people around you that you do not know if you can trust them. Some of you have become aware of enemies around you in a sense that it feels numerous. All right. That could be institutions. And I don't mean to say that you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to overthrow the government. That's not what I'm saying. It could be like being angry at the government because of certain decisions they've made lately that have affected you personally. That kind of like anger at like, and it doesn't have to be government. I'm just using that as an example. Healthcare, you know, sometimes people get beef or chips on their shoulder about healthcare. It could be about other certain groups of people that feel like they're dragging you down in some way. I feel that as well. Like you feel like that's kind of like a threat. Oh, I'm never going to remember all those as we go through these readings. Remember who you are as we go through, and hopefully your guides will explain it in a way that doesn't make me have to remember all your different categories, because we have to move on. I feel 2 right here, and that's what I wanted. Oh, you got 3. We're going to keep them anyway. Goodness gracious. Okay. Ooh, dominance. Yeah, I feel like some of you, when we're talking about like larger groups or larger institutions in yourself that feel like they're dragging you down, you can feel dominated by those. Okay. Yeah, feeling dominated by the thing that's haunting you. Okay, we've talked about all your scenarios. I'm just going to say the thing that's haunting you now to save time. Does that work? Tell me if that worked in the comment section. Okay. Memory. Interesting. Some of you might have had a traumatic thing in the past that affects you now. And that image could also get into your sphere a little bit, which could also mean that you need to watch pile 1. and nature. Okay. Okay. So anyway, hopefully you didn't just hear that music too bad. Thought the music would stop when I turned my recorder on, but it faded out. So if you heard that, I was finishing a song that started playing for no reason. It was playing in my car earlier, and I guess it just decided to finish. And I was like, all right, let's finish this song. So, oh, that might have some relevance to your situation, actually. The song is called Fighter, and one of the lines is, I'm a survivor, I'm a fighter, I'm a survivor, is how it goes. It's by In This Moment. You should check it out, maybe, if you want to get the full message. But those of you that were worried about death finding you, like literally, we talked about you in the very beginning. Remember, let's circle back. You could be getting a sign there from your guides that you're going to make it through this worry that you have, whatever it might be. So it could be a message of you're not going to die yet, that kind of thing, or the people you love aren't going to die yet. There's still time. If it's not a literal death situation, they're showing that there's still time. You could be worrying about an ending, okay, with these cards or this section, this pile. That could be what's haunting you. What else? Past things, feeling dominated by all of that, feeling dominated by health problems, worrying about those that you love, worried about things that you cared about coming to an end, or having big change coming in and changing what you... Remember how when you were a kid, there were times when you would like grow up. I think we've talked about this on this channel before, and I used to talk about this with my students. So, oh my gosh, if you've heard this 1,000 times, guess what? You're going to hear it again. When you would finally get to a certain stage in your like schooling or your life, and then they'd take away some kind of a privilege that you used to get as a rite of passage, they'd take away that right, and you're like, oh, of course, this always happens to me, right? I feel that in this group as well. Okay, let's get some tarot. I'm going to go 4, 3, 2, 1 with the cards that we get here. Oh, the info card is in there. I just saw it. Oh, shucky darn. Oh, well, I guess it's in there for a reason. We'll just sit it back down if we find it again. There we go. There's your 4th card, and taking that out. Okay, we'll just... Okay. You can zoom in on that entire time and get all the information you need to go get yourself one of these decks of cards. I will, like I said in the intro, I'll put a link to their Etsy website so you can get yourself a deck of these if you're into these skeleton pencil drawing cards. They're so cute. I love them so much. Ooh, the Fool. That's have faith, my friends. Remember how I was like, maybe you're not gonna die just yet, right? The King of Wands. That's also about passion and inspiration, falling in love, being in love. So if you're worried about losing someone that you love, you don't need to. The Moon, fear of the future. But also your guides telling you to trust your intuition and that they might be speaking to you in your dreams. 8 of Wands. Wow. Fast moving change and events, but good ones. Okay, so I feel like the news is going to change to something good in your favor. Nature's going to take over in some way and save the day. Have you ever seen nature do that, take over? And it might even seem inconvenient at first, but then you find out that, getting snowed in was the best thing that ever happened to you. Do you know what I'm talking about there? That's one example. I'm not going to go into all of them, or we'll be here all day long. I know you love listening to me speak. But maybe not that much. Okay. Oh my. Okay, moving along. We have, the 8 of Swords. Temperance. The Hanged Man. Okay. So now your guides are going into this mode of they feel like you're getting anxious, some of you. And so their main message right now to those of you who felt anxious just now while you were doing this reading, or maybe you felt anxious about this situation this whole time. That's why you're even looking for a reading, right? Anybody who can connect to that anxiousness or feels like they don't know the way forward, right? You might not be anxious, but you might not know the way forward. Your guides are showing healing. So if it's something you're worrying about with health and that kind of thing, always go see a doctor and get checked out for anything, because I'm not a doctor, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a doctor. But temperance does have to do with healing and good health. So that's a message of hope. Go get checked out at the doctor to confirm that it's good news. The Hanged Man also shows you finding your answers in a different way by looking at things differently, or by putting into a situation where you have to look at things differently, and that's what brings about your answer or helps you through with what's haunting you, right? With what's making you feel this unrest, this feeling of change, or this feeling of fear of death, this feeling of whatever all those situations were. I knew I wasn't going to remember them all. Oh, but those are your cards, I bet, for the rest of your reading. If there's 3, I'm going to... Told you. That's the last one. We're going to put 2 here and put the last one right on top. 6 of Cups. Somebody from your past could come forward to help you through this situation. The Wheel of Time. Your guides are showing that you're exactly where you need to be for things to work out in the best possible way. Okay, so those of you that were like, I don't know my way forward, then you're not supposed to move forward yet, okay? Your guides and your own intuition will tell you when to move forward. With that Moon card, they are showing and reminding that you do have good intuition at this time. Yes. Somebody from your past could come forward to help you, okay? Or something you learned in your past, or some virtue you had when you were a child, okay? So tap into some of your past to figure out how to move forward into the present in a good way. And last but not least, the Ace of Swords. It'll be led to the truth, the answer, the answer that's the best, or the outcome that's the best for everyone involved, etc. and so forth. The most natural answer also just came to mind, right? So that might be like natural medicine that people learn about while they're also going and seeing a real medical doctor for any health concerns. I said that. That's like the 3rd time I've said something about that. All right. That is all I have for you, my group 3. We actually kept this under time because I didn't get all mired down with all the different scenarios. But let me know if you would like me to go through the scenarios and get mazy like I usually do. That might be part of the charm. Tell me in the comments section. Give me ways that this resonated for you there as well. Give me topic ideas there. Also, if you would like a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. We will see you in the next one, my friends. Take care. Bye.